Yeah, good evening students. So let's start. So this is our third session for SCORE, and as you all must be aware that SCORE is an exam where your talent will be evaluated, you will be guided, and you will also get an opportunity to compete with some of the best mind of India. So most of you might have already registered. If you have not registered, then go with the SCORE test, register it. The description is there in the link itself. You can go and register. Not only you, tell all your friends, all your family who can appear to appear here. So this is a very good opportunity. So you must be aware about all the rewards and all the benefits you will get from this SCORE exam. So in this session today, so in the first two sessions, in the first session I have explained how SCORE exam is there, how it will help you to benefit in NEET, and then in the second we have discussed some of the important chapters. Now today again a very important session, and here in this session we are going to practice some very important question, and for that what can be better than discussing some of the previous year question of SCORE. So today this session will be mainly focused on discussing the previous year question. So just solve it, you will get an idea how the SCORE questions will look like. So let's, without wasting any time, let's get started. So this is the 2025 paper from where I am taking the question. So the paper looks something like this. The first page will have all the instruction given there, and then the section wise, just like NEET in which you get the section wise question, here is also the section wise question. So let's start with question number 1. So here this question says that many bacteria have small circular so here it is telling that many bacteria has small circular DNA outside the genomic DNA. So this is a question from the chapter cell. Last session we have discussed it. Small circular DNA, if this is a bacteria has a central chromosomal DNA or nuclear DNA, although it do not have nucleus, but they have nucleoid. So DNA is present in nucleoid, but outside also, in the cytoplasm also, they have circular DNA, and that circular DNA is called plasmid. Right? So small circular DNA outside the genomic DNA. This DNA we can call as the genomic DNA. So the DNA present in prokaryotes are in the form of genomic DNA and the plasmid. So the small circular DNA outside the genomic DNA is plasmid. So the answer will be 3. Then next question is also from the prokaryotic cell. Here it says that small bristle-like fiber. Now if we say this is the prokaryotic cell, now we have studied in last class that prokaryotic cell can have very long flagella or small bristle-like structure, and these bristle-like structure can be of two types. One is called pili, another is called fimbriae. Pili is somewhat longer and it will help in conjugation. Pili has a role in conjugation, whereas the other bristle-like structure is fimbriae. And this fimbriae helps in, so it helps in attachment. They help in the attachment. So here small bristle-like fiber sprouting out of the cell which helps to attach bacteria to the rock. It is the fimbriae. So here what we will keep it in mind, that on the surface of the bacteria there can be three types of hair-like structure. One is called flagella, another is called pili, and another is called fimbriae. Now, flagella helps in movement. It is less in number and longer in length, whereas pili will help in conjugation, and fimbriae helps in attachment. Very, very important question from NEET point of view also and from score point of view also, that flagella has a role in movement, pili has a role in conjugation, and fimbriae has a role in attachment. Then the next question, this is from the cell cycle. Last class also we have discussed cell cycle, and in the cell cycle we have studied about different stages of the cell cycle, and there, if you can quickly recall this, that it has M phase, it will have M phase, then it will have M phase here, and then this phase is called the interphase. Interphase is this, right? Now this interphase is divided into G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase, and in the G1 phase only I have told you that there is a G0 phase, right? G0 phase. Now the cell moves in the cell cycle starting from interphase, M phase, and it is repeated again and again. Now what if the cell do not have to divide? If the cell do not want to divide, then the cell will remain in the G0 phase. So cell exit from the G1 phase and sit down calmly in G0 phase. It exit from G1 phase and sit down calmly in G0 phase. So what should be the answer here? Cell do not divide further due to following changes in cell cycle. What change will happen? The cell exit the G1 and enter into G0 phase of cell cycle. So third answer. Then again related to the cell cycle only. No, this question is from the plant kingdom or from the classification of organism. This also we have seen in the first chapter, the living world. Somewhat we have seen these classifications. So here says that though these two kingdoms are constant under different system, the group included are changing. Now this is a bit question related to the biological classification, where we talk about different system of classification, and there we first talk about two kingdom classification, right? And there we say that there are two kingdom, plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Then we give the three kingdom classification. And there we say that along with plant and animal, there is also a third kingdom. Then we give the four kingdom, then we give the five kingdom, six kingdom classification. But in all the kingdom of classification, if you see, plant and animal remain the same, then gradually Monera is added, right? Then fungi is added, right? Protista is added. So these will added gradually in the subsequent system of classification, but from the beginning to the end, plant kingdom and animal kingdom remain as it is, right? Some of the members are taken from plant kingdom and kept into Monera, some taken from animal kingdom kept into Protista. In the same way, the composition of plant and animal changes, but plant and animal remain as a kingdom. So these are the two constant kingdom which remain constant throughout the different system of classification. So system of classification, two kingdom classification, three kingdom classification, four kingdom classification, five kingdom classification, and the latest one is six kingdom classification. But in all, animal and plant kingdom remain the same. Now the next question, it is related to the regions of root. Now is this one, if I explain, so let's consider this is the region of root where this part is root cap. This part is root cap. Just above the root cap is another region, and this region is called the region of meristem. Above that is the region of elongation. And then above that, lastly, this is the region of maturation. Here, small hair-like structure is there, which is called the root hair. Region of maturation. This is called root hair. Now let's read the question based on this information. It says that region of the root responsible for the growth of root in length, right? Now region of meristem, it is responsible to increase in number of cell. Increase in number of cell. Region of elongation, responsible for increase in length. And this, because it has root hair, so it helps in absorption of water and mineral. Water and minerals. Right? So here it helps in absorption of water and minerals. So this is the function of all the region. So increase in length, so it will be the region of elongation. Next one, in which of the following plant petiole expand to become green to synthesize food? Now here actually what happened, let's say this is the stem, then this is the petiole, and basically this is the leaf, right? Let's consider this is a leaf. So leaf has three parts. See, this is called the base of the leaf. This is the petiole of the leaf. And this is the lamina of the leaf. Now, so this is a general leaf, right? Now, what happened in Australian acacia, which has a different structure than this, but from this basic structure if we understand, then this lamina part in Australian acacia fall down. Now if you see lamina is fall down, then who will perform the function of leaf? So then this petiole, which is usually thin, cylindrical in shape, now what will happen? This petiole will become flat leaf-like. So this petiole become leaf-like and they perform the function of leaf. So that is in the case of Australian acacia. So again, in Australian acacia, the petiole expand and start acting as a leaf. So this is the petiole in Australian acacia. So Australian acacia will be the answer. Next question. Budding is seen in. So budding, there are several modes of reproduction, right? Asexual, vegetative reproduction, and one of the vegetative reproduction is budding. It is regeneration, binary fission, budding. So budding take place in the yeast, right? Budding, see, remember budding, there are other examples also. Budding take place in hydra, budding take place in yeast, and later on in plant kingdom when you study, budding also take place in the leafy stage of secondary protonema. It take place in the leafy stage of secondary protonema. So here it will be yeast. Yeast is a unicellular fungi. Right? Now, next one is from the taxonomical hierarchy. So, taxonomical hierarchy, there are kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. Now here if we consider this, then as we move, so here what it says, as we go higher from species to kingdom, when we move from species to kingdom, what will happen to the common character? See, when you move in this direction, then the common character decreases. Now let's consider with an example. When we say kingdom, so animal kingdom, right? So when I say a cat is also a part of animal kingdom and a cow is also a part of animal kingdom, but similarity in character is very less, means the common character is less. Now species, so species, cow is a species. Now if we compare two cow, only cow can be considered as a single species, right? Dog is a different. So when we consider a species, it is the similar individual. So the characteristic similarity between two members of the same species and two members of the same individual, of course here the similar character will be more, here the similar character will be less. So the common character will decrease, right? And if we go in this direction, then the common character increase. Now moving on to the next, Hominis cellula e cellulae. So this is a part of cell theory. Who gave this point in the cell theory? So it was Rudolf Virchow. Rudolf Virchow has given Hominis cellula e cellulae. What is the meaning of this? It says that cell arises from pre-existing cell. Now, if I say who gave the cell theory? So, cell theory was given by Sladen, Schwann and Virchow. Sladen and Schwann has said that all living organisms are made up of cell and product of cell. But this could not explain that how the cell, this could not explain how a new cell is formed. That is explained by Rudolf Virchow, and it says that cell always arises from pre-existing cell. So if question also come, who completed the cell theory? So Rudolf Virchow completed the cell theory. Okay. Srinu is telling to line by line MCQs. Yes, that also we will try to cover if we get time, some chapter wise. Although in the last class we have did some NCERT based questions. Today our aim is to do all the previous year questions, so that you get an overview of what kind of question will be asked here. But yes, we will try to do some more chapter specific NCERT based question. And also remember, in a score exam, NCERT should be your main textbook. Just like NEET. In NEET only you refer NCERT. Here also NCERT is more than sufficient. As you can see, all the questions are simple, straightforward NCERT based. So now coming to the next question. Cell wall formation in bacteria is facilitated by, see here, very important point. Cell wall formation, and here it is given bacteria, right? Now in general, if it is asked cell wall formation in eukaryote, so in eukaryote it will be Golgi, but if it says bacteria, then it is mesosome. In bacteria, mesosome help in bacteria it will be mesosome, and in case of eukaryotes it will be Golgi. Remember this. Answer will change whether we say that it is in bacteria or it is in eukaryote. Remember this point. Okay, now next one is spindle fiber attached to kinetochore of some chromosome during. Now this is from the cell cycle. Now all of you can recall that in cell cycle, in mitosis, there is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, right? And if you remember that there is one stage called metaphase. In the metaphase, chromosomes are attached arranged at the equatorial plate. Then the centromere is present at the opposite pole, and then there is a spindle fiber, and this spindle fiber will go and get connected to the chromosome like this. Now which part of chromosome is it attached? So you will say, sir, it attached to the centromere. Now which part of centromere? So kinetochore of the centromere. So this happened during metaphase, right? So this is what is happening in metaphase. Now just I will draw one structure of centromere, large structure. Let's say this is a centromere. This is a chromosome like this. And this is the centromere. So it will have two kinetochore like this. One side spindle fiber will get attached, another side spindle fiber will get attached, right? So spindle fiber attached to kinetochore at which stage? In the metaphase. Remember this, right? In which stage chromosome are attached onto the equatorial plate? Metaphase. That's why I also called metaphasic plate. Further in metaphase, chromosome is best visible in metaphase, right? Then moving ahead. So all these questions are very, very interesting and very important. So you can solve these questions, and related topic you can also go back and read through the NCERT. It will really help you to improve your score. Then comes the Chlamydomonas and Chlorella. Chlamydomonas and Chlorella are placed in which kingdom of Linus classification? Now what do you mean by Linus classification? See, Linus classification is called two kingdom classification. Two kingdom classification was given by Linus, and according to this classification, all the living organisms are divided into two parts: plants and animals. Now if it is plant, means they will have cell wall, right? So we can say cell wall present, and here we will say cell wall absent. So on this basis, now Chlamydomonas and Chlorella, both are here. If we say here Chlamydomonas and Chlorella are placed in which kingdom of Linus classification? So we will say it is placed in the plant kingdom. Then next one is reserve food material in Animalia is. In animal, the reserve food material is glycogen. It is glycogen. We know that starch is the reserve food material of the plants, whereas the glycogen is the reserve food material of animals, right? It is the reserve food material of animals. Then comes, which of the following function is generally responsible, which of the following function is generally not performed by the normal route? not performed by normal root. So here what we will say, here root function, if we say, they synthesize plant growth regulator, right? Then synthesis of food in the presence of sunlight. This is photosynthesis, right? Photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is not performed by the plants. Rest other are performed by the plants. So second will be the right answer. Next one, which of the following are important floral reward to the animal pollinator? Floral reward. See, every time any animal perform pollination, there has to be a floral reward. Now, this floral reward means what? So, in plant, the floral rewards for the animal pollinators are pollen grain, because they can consume it for nutrition, and also there can be nectar, right? And in some cases, they can also help in egg laying. This is also so these are the three floral rewards. So here what we will say, nectar and pollen grain. Thalamus develop into false fruit edible. So false fruit are the one which develop from thalamus. So here the answer will be apple and strawberry. So this one will be the correct answer. Apple, strawberry. Although there is one more, cashew. These all three are example of false fruit. Apple, strawberry and cashew are example of false fruit. Then when Mendel self-pollinated the F2 plant, which conclusion did he draw about the genotype of F2? In F2 plant, they get tall if it is a monohybrid cross, right? So if it is a monohybrid cross, he get tall and dwarf, two types of phenotype. Now in tall, there is a possibility that they can be homozygous tall or they can be heterozygous tall. In dwarf, what can be? Only one possibility, small t, small t. So the genotype, so here for dwarf, it will be homozygous, small t, small t. Third will be the answer. Then moving ahead, which of the following is an initiation codon, also called as start codon? Start codon, AUG. AUG, right? Okay, so how to solve tough question in physics? So parallel physics and chemistry are also going on, right? So just in the link you will get all the schedule, and in that schedule you will get for physics and chemistry also. And in the same way, in physics and chemistry also, all the previous year question, all the difficult question, what kind of question will be asked, all those points are being covered, right? It is done both for NEET also and JEE also. So all type of student can get the detail of the link, and from there you can join the respective session. Next one, which of the following is crucial for storage of seed to be used as food throughout the year and to raise crop in the next season? Now for the seed to be protected, preserved, one, we need a very dry seed, means dehydration, and second, seed need to be dormant. So dehydration and dormancy, these are very two important thing. So third will be the answer here. Which of the following is crucial for storage of seed? So dehydration and dormancy is very crucial. If the seed is not dehydrated properly, then it may get spoiled. Next one, choose the incorrect statement, right? So here, if we see, bagging in artificial hybridization prevent undesirable cross pollination. Yes, bagging means covering. Covering will of course always prevent the cross pollination. Then comes xenogamy can occur in both bisexual. Again true. What is xenogamy? When the pollination take place between two different flowers of the same plant. So here it is possible in both bisexual and unisexual plant. This is also correct. This is also correct statement. Cryopreservation store pollen in CaCl2. No, it is in liquid nitrogen, right? So this one is wrong. So third is the correct answer. Antipodal cell do not participate in fertilization. Yes, this is also correct. So third one is the right answer here. Next one, identify the following event of M phase in the correct sequence. Now here the event you have to identify. Now see, so as per this, if we consider, then movement of one by one, if we write the stage where it all happens. So first, movement of daughter chromosome toward the opposite pole. This happen in anaphase. Movement of daughter centrosome toward the opposite pole. So this happen, we can say at the beginning of prophase, but it generally starts in prophase. So we can say prophase. Movement of parent chromosome toward equator of the cell. So this happen in metaphase. And then individuality of chromosome is lost. It happen in telophase. So now answer is very, very clear. So here the correct sequence is prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. So prophase is B, so it will be B, then metaphase C, then anaphase A and then D. So B, C, A, D. Second will be the right answer here. So such question you can easily solve it by using this method. Then read the following statement regarding protista and then you have to answer. Now here if you see, silica cells are present on the cell wall of marine form of the amoeboid protozoa. See here this question is a little tricky question, right? Because they are checking your lot of information in a one question and very minute information are checked, although they are all NCERT lines. Now let's see one by one. Silica cells are present on the cell wall of marine form of amoeboid protozoa. Marine form? No, amoeboid protozoa is fresh water form. So this one is wrong. Plasmodium is malarial parasite and cause cholera. Malarial parasite will cause cholera? No. Plasmodium is saprophytic protista. It is not saprophytic. It is parasitic in nature. Euglenoid are freshwater organism found in stagnant water. So this is correct statement. Now what is asked? Find the incorrect. So A, B and C are incorrect. Right? So this kind of statement based question are little tricky type of question. Here reading NCERT will be important. So that is why for NEET as well as for score, you need, and especially for NEET I am telling, that habit of reading all the lines carefully is very important to get good marks. Now, next list, okay, how it came. Okay, fine. So let's do these questions here. So here it says, identify the correct statement about the genetic codon, right? It says that AUG is initiator codon and code for glycine. AUG code for glycine? No, wrong. UAA code for tyrosine? Wrong. Codons are mostly universal. Yes. UAG is terminator codon, correct? And more than one codon code for a single amino acid. More than one codon code for a single amino acid. This is again correct, right? So here the correct answer will be C, D and E. Then next one, Sharpen and Boveri noted that behavior of chromosome is parallel to the behavior of gene. Yes, it is called as the chromosomal basis of inheritance. Behavior of chromosome is similar to the behavior of gene. Then Boveri gave chromosomal theory of inheritance and he united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation with Mendelian principle, right? So Boveri gave the chromosomal theory of, this is again a statement taken from NCERT, right? So this is also correct. So both statements are true. Given, taken directly from NCERT line, both the lines are. Next one, the early stage of embryo development is different in monocot and dicot. Early stage is same in both monocot and dicot, not different. So first statement is wrong. Second statement, the zygote first give rise to proembryo and then globular embryo. Yes, this is correct. So statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. So just escape this part, remove this one. Escape. Just a second, somehow this, you can discard it. Discard. Just put it aside. Thank you. Okay, fine. So yeah, some unwanted element was there. So now this is the last question. The intron found in eukaryotes are. Now there are two things. One is called intron, other is called exon. So when we say introns, introns are non-coding and exons are coding in nature, right? So now whatever is non-coding, we need to remove it. So the intron found in eukaryotic are, we will say, non-coding sequence, and that's why there is a splicing of introns, right? There is a splicing of introns. So these were the set of questions from the last year of score, and as you can see, the questions, some of the question, specifically the statement based questions, are a bit tricky, right? And always in NEET also the statement based questions are tricky, whereas the other questions are basic knowledge based, and the question in NEET is also in the same way mixed. Level of questions were standard as per the NEET standard, and also they are NCERT based. You can directly see the NCERT lines were used. So if you read NCERT carefully for all these chapters, you will definitely do good in the score exam. And you know that score is very, very important for NEET. So do register for score to know where you actually stand and where you stand with respect to other student. So I hope all of you must have enjoyed this session. Go back, enroll for a score, tell your friends, tell your family members about the score, and it's a good chance for you to do great in NEET and for all the other standard also, not only NEET, JEE, and from standard 3 to 12, all student can appear for it. So thank you all of you for engaging with me. You can comment any other query if you have in the comment box, and all the links are shared there, right? You can get all the details about score exam from there. So thank you all of you.